Hey everyone, James Baker here, and today I'm going to make a very fun, exciting video, and I'm going to show you how to file your extension. And I'm going to show you how to file an extension whether you have a partnership, a C corporation, a foreign-owned single-member LLC, an S corp, a foreign trust, a personal tax return, a Form 1040-NR, whatever. I'm going to show you how to do all of the extensions. And I'm going to do it on my screen sharing, but I'm making a video like this because I want better production value, and I just want to better explain like what needs to happen. So in general, S corps in Form 1065, a multi-member LLC tax return, those are due on March 15th. Those are the most common March 15th forms. C corporations, U.S. resident taxpayers, people who live in the U.S., and foreign-owned single-member LLC owners, the Form 5472 filers, of course, the pro forma Form 1120. Your tax deadline is April 15th. I'm recording this video in 2022 on April 14th, and the deadline for this year is actually April 18th because in the US, April 15th is a holiday. So if you're watching this on the 15th or the 16th or the 17th or even the 18th, there is still time to watch the rest of the video, prepare your extension, and send it to the IRS so that you don't get hit with late payments or late filing fees. Okay, here I am. Okay, so let's do some extensions, right? I'm going to start with the Form 7004. And you can Google search. I just Google search Form 7004. You can find it here on the irs.gov/forms/pub/about-4. Form 7004. They have the instructions here and the form here. So the instructions will tell you how and where to file. It can be filed electronically. If you have tax software, most of you don't have tax software. I do. I can file electronically, but you can't. So if you file 7004 on paper and you file your tax return electronically, it doesn't matter. You may still get a notice, that's fine, but it doesn't mean you're late. You have to save the mailing confirmation. So let me just do something here, fax. Okay, that's an interesting thing here. So most of the people watching this video are because I forwarded to you on an email about Form 5472. So that we have to learn about in the Form 5472 instructions. So if you are filing a Form 5472 and you don't have time to complete it and you want to just file an extension right away and you're tired of watching the 6-minute video, you just want to know how to do it, I'm going to show you right now. So Form 5472, when and where to file, foreign-owned USDEs, and this is exactly disregarded entity, foreign-owned. So you need to file. This is why. So where's the note? Where's the extension of time to file? Right here. Let's zoom it in for you. So a foreign-owned U.S. disregarded entity required to file Form 5472 can request an extension of time to file by filing Form 57004. You must file it by the regular due date. It must be attached. You should use the code for 1120. Foreign-owned USDE must be written at the top, and you must fax it or mail it to the fax number or mailing address identified earlier. So that's going to be this number. So you can fax this. You can fax it to this number, 855-887-7737, only if you're a foreign-owned single-member LLC filing Form 5472. So we're going to do that first. We're going to enter in we're going to do the extension. It's going to be my LLC. No, my name is James LLC. It's a Delaware LLC. And you put your EIN number. And if you don't have an EIN number and you still want to file, do it like this, but don't include the EIN number. So at least you have proof that you faxed it. And if you're waiting for the IRS to give you an EIN number, it's not the perfect answer, but just fax it without the EIN number so you can at least send it. Okay, so my EIN number, I already have it memorized. It's actually 9876548321. So don't share with anyone. It's private. And I'm gonna put my address in here. We'll have. We have Miami, Florida, 33131. Cool. So that's my address. Do a capital A. And then, and right here, you're putting in the code 1, 2. And basically, the extension for all of these types of entities, whether it's a 7006, a 706, a 1041, all of these 1120s, a 3520A, a 1065, which is a partnership return, 1120S, which is an S Corp. You're just entering the code for that specific entity. Right now we're doing 12, which is the code for right here for a Form 1120. That's the same as if you have a U.S. corporation or an LLC that filed an election to be taxed as a corporation. So we go down here. If the organization is a foreign corporation that doesn't have an office in the U.S. business, check here. And that would be if you were doing an extension for an 1120F. The 1120F, if you have no U.S. activity, is actually due on June 15th. So, you know, if you're watching it now and you were going to file, you can kind of hold off on that. The biggest penalties are for the Form 5472 filing that we're doing now. But if you are doing that, and you check this box, but we're not. If the organization is a corporation and the common parent intends to file a consolidated return, you should probably have a CPA. If checked, attach a statement listing the name and address for each member covered. So yeah, that's not going to apply for almost anyone. And this is super important here in 5A. The application is for calendar year 2021. Okay? Right now we're doing 2021 tax returns. Next year, if you're still watching this video in 2023, you would put 2022. That's the safe answer. If you opened your company during the year, you can be more complicated. I would still leave the 2021 there. And let's say I open my company May 1st, 2021, and ending December 31st, 2021. You know, you can do that, and then you would say short year. If it's less than 12 months, check initial return. You know, all that stuff, I don't think that really matters, to be honest with you. I would just put 2021 and keep it simple. I'm always about keeping it simple and doing it that way. But if it is the initial return, you can obviously put the dates in, put initial return. And that's all it is to this form, to be honest with you. We are going to have to print this to PDF, and I'm only sharing this window, so I can't really do it on here. But I would print this to PDF and then type at the top of the page, foreign owned USDE. It's really important. I can't do it, like I said, on here because I don't, let's see if I actually have a pen so we can write it. So let's do foreign, you get it, right? Owned. I guess you could do this. That's awesome. I'm actually left-handed. That's why it's so bad, because I use my mouse with my right hand. USDE. And oh man, I deleted it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to type it all for it. DE. So let's pretend I wrote it all. And then we're going to put my pen away back, and we're going to print it. And then we're going to save it, and then we're going to fax it using an eFax service. And we're going to fax that with, you know, eFax. You know, there's like a million companies. You can say eFax.com, eFax Corporate, Ring Central is probably not good. Yeah, eFax is the best online fax service. This one's probably easy, and you can probably do a free trial. You know, it's not rocket science here. So that's only for the Form 5472, the foreign owned USDE, right? So let's go back to, oh, and okay, it is jumping around. So let's go back. Let's pretend you don't have a foreign owned USDE. Let's go to the pen and let's clear the screen. So let's say you have a partnership. You actually have to mail it, which is kind of unfortunate because that only works for here. So let's see how and where to file. Let's find the mailing address on here. Where to file, and we have all the details on here. All right, so if the form is, you know, a regular 1120, this is most of the forms. If you're sending it with an address, so that's a good point. If your address up here is Miami, Florida, that's the address you're going to use on here. So it's going to be Florida. So you're going to use this address. If you have a 1065, an 1120, 1120S, you're going to use this address. If you're using a foreign address, like if I put Jamaica in here, then I'm going to send it to this address. You know, you want to use certified mail or something where you can track and prove that you mailed it, but that is how you file the extension. You know, it's really basically name, EIN, address, 2021. That's the same for everyone. If you have a different type of filing you're doing, you put that number in here. And if you're doing a 5472, you also have to write foreign owned USDE, but otherwise they're all the same. and it's a Form 7004. If you are a person, a U.S. resident, a taxpayer, individual, for a person, the form is actually different. And that's right here. It's Form 4868. And it actually doesn't even have separate instructions. It all is on one page. It's literally just this. It's an application for an automatic extension of time to file. So in the U.S., if you are a resident and you live in the U.S. and you're paying taxes, if you were due a refund, there's no penalties for filing late. If you just have a 1040 and a W-2, there's no penalties for filing late. But if you don't file, you might lose your refund. So if you have a payment to make, an extension is not, and they say this all the time, but an extension of time to file your return, it's not an extension of time to pay your taxes. So if you have money that you are going to owe the IRS when you complete your taxes, let me make myself bigger, make this important. If you have money that you're going to owe the IRS when you file your tax return, you need to pay by April 18th. If you need to make a payment, we're going to go to irs.gov/payments, and that's how you pay the IRS for most things. If you have a corporation, you go to eftps.gov. It's a little bit slower. Okay? So for this 4868, name, estimated tax liability, we're going to put 2021. You don't even have to do it because on here the form is completed. It says it right here, 2021. Name, address, you and your wife or spouse or husband, whatever, social security number. Check here if you're out of the country. And check here if you file a 1040 NR and you didn't receive wages as in place of the U.S. income tax withholding. So if that applies to you, that applies to you. Estimate of liability, you can leave these blank if you don't know, but you basically fill this out, and let's look at where the mailing address is. E-file your tax software, whatever. You probably don't have it. If you want a paper file, the address should be in the end. Yeah. Where to paper file it. So if you want to mail it with paper mail, you can use these addresses based on your mailing address. Pennsylvania has its own address. Funny, huh? Florida has its own. Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, that's fine. So that's how you file a personal extension. I don't think it's going to be very popular to do. If you're a non-resident and you live outside the country, your tax return is due June 15th, not April 15th. But that's how you do it. So we went over it. If you have a foreign-owned single-member LLC, if you have a corp, if you have a partnership, if you're a person, if you have a foreign corporation, I explained how to file your extension. I hope the video is helpful. Let me know if it wasn't, or if I missed something, or if you need more elaboration, or if you want me to do it in Spanish or slow down, and I'm happy to do it. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here, and I will see you on the next one.